culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Hello. Happy Wednesday. And welcome to episode 5 of the Morning Report. How are you feeling today? If you are one of my co-reporters who are here watching live, let me know in the chat. Or if you're part of my VOD squad playback posse, let me know in the comment section how you're doing, okay? After this video airs live. We've got so much to talk about. I actually think that this episode is gonna go over an hour. So just brace yourselves. If you've got the time, you're in luck. There's honestly, I don't even know where to start. Hi, Caroline. It is so nice to see you here. You have been super duper consistent with your viewership, and I so appreciate it. Oh, Jax is here. Hi, Jax. Nice to see you. Guys, Christmas is officially a week away. I have a question for you. So do you know how I got back into my fitness after getting sick and whatnot? I was looking at the schedule for my gym coming up next week, and I saw that on Christmas Day, they were having a yoga session, a Christmas yoga. And I thought to myself, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Christmas yoga? Should I do it? But here's the thing, it's at 6 p.m. and I feel like that's an awkward time. I would have loved for it to be in the afternoon. So you do the thing and then you carry on with your day, right? But at 6 p.m., it's kind of like you're in the middle of cooking dinner. So I'm not sure if ultimately I will actually end up doing it, but I really do love the fact that they are offering it. I just feel like there's something so great about being able to do something great for yourself, for your health, and just for your zen on Christmas Day, amidst all of the chaos. Now, speaking of chaos, I am having a day and a half. Okay. And I'm thinking about it, Caroline, but I just wish it were earlier. I got roped into something for tonight. You know, when people ask you, hey, do you have any plans on this day? That happened to me where someone asked me that and I said, no. And then the person says, oh, great, let's go watch a movie. And it's normally I love the movies, and I'm a total cinema girly. But the movie that this person wants to watch is not at all my thing. It's a period piece and I hate period pieces. But it's really important to this person. And I find that people think that just because you do not have plans on a particular day, it means that you are free and you're wanting to do something and you just couldn't find someone to do whatever with. But for me, I love not having plans, and I look forward to not having plans. So I'm kind of oh God, look at all these things I have to get done now and rush in order to be ready for this event. I'm looking forward to doing something nice for this person because I know they really want this to be a thing, to go watch this thing, but I'm just not into it. I'm not. I know I'm going to be bored out of my mind, but thankfully the movie is only an hour and a half long. Okay, so we got to slowly start getting into the news for the day because like I said, there are a lot of stories to cover. We got to start off, and I never thought we'd be talking about them here, but we got to start off with Russia, okay? Have you guys heard the news that Russia allegedly developed some sort of a vaccine against cancer? Let me know. Have you heard about that? Because when I was doing research for today's show, I was quite surprised to see this story come up. By the way, if you're enjoying this stream, let YouTube know by liking the video. It's a very, very easy and quick way to support my channel. So the story goes as following. Russia has developed some sort of an mRNA vaccine against cancer, according to their general director of the Radiology Medical Research Center. Okay. And they're saying that this vaccine is expected to be launched for general circulation in early 2025, meaning that this vaccine is going to be available within the coming months. And the idea of this is just so incredible. Apparently, the clinical trials of the vaccine proved that it does have a very strong ability to suppress tumor growth and prevent the spread of tumors to other organs in the body. And again, if this news is true, if this thing truly is effective, I gotta say, kudos to you, Russia. Kudos to you, because this is going to change and save a lot of lives. But here's the thing, though. Russia is kind of like on the outs with everybody right now. And that makes me wonder, like, okay, like, will other countries kind of try to work with them at least on this and making it available in their own countries as well? I've always wondered, how is it that we're able to do so many miraculous, incredible things except solve cancer or cure cancer or whatever? It kind of feels intentional to me. You know, I don't want to be like a tinfoil hat person, but it really does. Like the amount of like things that we are able to do through technology and through science, a lot of things that are not even all that like, you know, important in my opinion. Like some of these like robots or whatever that they're coming out with, like it's crazy. Right. So yeah, very interesting, something very cool to keep an eye out on. And I really do hope that it is real. Caroline says it may be true. Cancer could have been cured years ago. It is a money grab. I am 1000% in agreement with you. Jack said it could be a trap. And that's something that I was thinking as well. I'm like, okay, well, could this be a trap? You know, I'm not saying they're microchipping people or anything like that who take this vaccine, but I don't know. Can we trust Russia? Let me know. Can we trust Russia? Seriously, I gotta ask. I don't know. I genuinely do not know the answer to that. Because here's the thing. One thing about the press is that they will make you like they will paint someone out to be like an extreme enemy, you know, and then sometimes you go back, you do research a little bit like, you know, and then you find that there was propaganda at play and that, you know, you didn't have the full story and whatnot. So I try not to take everything at face value. And I'm going to be honest when I say I don't really understand like the big beef between, you know, like Canada, Russia, US, Russia, France, Russia. So you know, this is a genuine question. I don't know. Can we trust Russia? I do not know. Right. Now, my pal Sal Vintage says, no jabs for me. And listen, I see why you feel that way. And I see why Caroline feels that way as well. Here's the thing, though. A great part of this vaccine that they're about to launch is that you don't even have to take it as a preventative thing. It's not like, hey, everybody now is required to do this. They're saying that if you have cancer, and you are desperate or you are this or you are that and you really want, you know, you want to stop this from spreading over your body, then you would be able to take it. So listen, a lot of people participate in clinical trials. They try all sorts of things when their lives are on their line and when they are truly, truly desperate. And I'm really happy that this is now an option for them. Good morning, Kristen. It is so nice to see you here. Now, you guys, it's Beehive moment. It's Beehive time. We've got to talk about the Queen Bee and her RIAA certifications. Like, this news was just so incredible when I saw it come across my stream yesterday evening. Beyonce has officially been crowned or awarded the most RIAA certified titles of all time by a female artist. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the most of any artist, period. Okay, like it is huge. History Association of America, and their actual president had this to say: "We are so excited to recognize the incredible talent, hard work, and creative spirit reflected across diverse genres. Beyonce's iconic catalog has earned the achievement of most certified titles for a female artist in RIAA's history. Congratulations on this crowning milestone, Beyonce, Parkwood Entertainment, Columbia Records, and we see you, Beehive, streaming on repeat." And that was a message from Michelle Ballantyne from the RIAA. And I wanted to go over some of these like albums and tracks. So her Renaissance album went 2 times platinum. Her album 4 went 4 times platinum. Lemonade as well. B-Day 5 times platinum. Self-titled Beyonce 6 times platinum. Dangerously in Love 7. Sasha Fierce, same thing. Cowboy Carter went platinum. Homecoming, the live album, went gold. The Lion King went gold. And as far as singles, Halo went 11 times platinum. Single Ladies went 11 times platinum. So these are diamond singles once you go that platinum, okay? And I just have to say, hats off to her. And there were like even albums where every single song went gold or platinum or diamond. You know, I believe it was the Renaissance album and the Lemonade album. And these were just absolutely incredible albums. One thing about Beyonce is she puts together albums. Like these albums, you can listen from front to back, like the story, you follow it and everything like that. The evolution of like the character Beyonce in these albums is just really something to behold. And I really, really love her work, and I'm really, really excited for her. Now, when I look at this list of all of the albums that she has put out over the years, I'm just kind of like irritated at how many times she was robbed for album of the year. I think Renaissance should have won. I think Lemonade should have won. I think Beyonce self-titled should have won as well. Hell, why not 4 as well? She has put out so many incredible albums over the years. And like her method of putting out albums, when she dropped self-titled, just like in the middle of the night, no promo or anything like that, that changed the game. And so many celebrities started doing that afterwards. Her rollout for Lemonade with the HBO movie, it was like a film. It was a moment of everything. Like you followed her along that journey. I think that is my favorite album from her, which brings me to you guys. What do you think? Or sorry, not what do you think? What's your favorite album by Beyonce? What's your favorite song by Beyonce? I personally cannot choose. I love them all, but I will say in terms of album and like just the story that like I connected with so much in terms of the way that she like marketed it and everything like that, Lemonade. I feel like that era was just absolutely incredible, but that doesn't mean that I don't love 4 or Self-Titled or Dangerously in Love or Renaissance or Cowboy Carter. Actually, these days, Cowboy Carter is pretty much like in permanent rotation for me. I keep playing the album front to back. And I gotta say that at first, I didn't appreciate the album. Like when it first came out, I only liked Levi's Jeans, and then I think I liked not Bodyguard, Most Wanted, and I think maybe one other song. But now I can truly say that album is an absolutely incredible body of work. It is a political statement, and it is just genius. You know, I have worn it the hell out. I absolutely love her and her music, and so I truly, truly am just ecstatic for her. I really, really am. So I'm seeing you guys are kind of similar to me, where you can't really choose your favorite Beyonce song or album. She just has so much out there, so much quality pieces out there. And I think the fact that all the singles in her album are charting gold or platinum or diamond is a testament to the quality of work that she puts out there. And I agree with Sierra. She is an icon. She's a legend, and she is the moment. And I gotta say, I am just so, so happy to be able to witness her greatness. You know, I think the last time there was an artist who was just this talented and this great, it was Michael Jackson, and he was before my time. You know, I was still very young. That's like, you know, stuff my parents were like, you know, they understood the gravity of his greatness and everything like that. I wasn't, you know, at that place. But with Beyonce, the fact that I'm here to witness it and see it and to enjoy it like in real time, like I feel so lucky. Now, with that being said, we do have a word from our sponsors. So take a listen and I'll catch you on the flip side. The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than RIAA. RIAA is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today. Y'all, we've got to talk about Raven-Symone. If you follow me on Twitter, then you saw this tweet that I retweeted yesterday, and it was in regards to Raven and something that she said recently about her Disney Channel show, That's So Raven, that a lot of people who stumbled upon the video found to be rather disturbing, myself included. Take a listen, and then we'll talk about, you know, the overall messaging and how people really feel on the flip side, okay? So I've got the audio clip right here for you guys.
feel like when I was on TSR, That's So Raven, I felt like boys watched the show because I had big boobs. Like,
really?
I do. I feel like that was the case.
You were so funny.
No, I feel like they came for the boobs. They stayed for the comedy. But like,
oof, is that a chapter?
Because that is a chapter title.
They came for the boobs.
I'm coming and I'm staying.
So there you go. She is accusing children who watched her show of watching it for her giant boobs or something like that. And I don't really listen. I do, on one hand, understand why she feels that way, because she has recently opened up about how executives said some very like off-color things to her about her body. She, as a child, underwent liposuction, breast reduction surgery, all sorts of things. And so I do think that from a very early age, unfortunately, like shame within her body and just over attention on her body, made her feel a certain kind of way. But I genuinely do not remember her body or her boobs or anything like that being a big part of the show. But perhaps because I am a heterosexual woman, I it didn't click for me. Like, I don't want to say that she's lying or anything like that, but I just don't get it. When I went to search Raven or That's So Raven, like all the pictures pretty much had her covered up like this. She was always dressed super modestly, very busy patterns, no cleavage, no nothing, right? So the idea that she's saying that guys were watching this for like her boobs were the star or whatever, I'm like, how? I genuinely do not get it. Go search for yourself. That's So Raven-Symone, and you'll see she is always covered up. So I wonder why this is something that she is claiming right now. And so basically when this clip went viral of her claiming that on Twitter, everyone was like, listen, Raven, we were kids. We were not thinking about these sorts of things. We thought you were hilarious, girl. Like, where are you getting this? Do not discount yourself that way or cheapen yourself that way, right? So I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about it. But yeah, a lot of people are just not in agreement with what it is that Raven is claiming was our main motive for watching the show. And listen, I was obsessed. The first celebrities that I ever became a stan of were Raven-Symone and who's that other girl? And I just had her in my head, but now like she kind of just vanished from my thought process. But Mary-Kate and Ashley. Those three, I should say, because Mary-Kate and Ashley are two separate people. I was a rabid stan for these people. And, they were just like regular, young girls. So I never noticed anything like this. But again, listen, I'm straight. So maybe like for guys or like, lesbian women, maybe this is something that they notice. So if you fall into either category, please feel free to let me know in the live chat. If you're watching this live or if you're part of my VOD squad, Playback Posse, let me know in the comment section of this video. Kristen says, I've loved her since the Cosby Show. Same here. Do you remember when she sang that song, Don't Step on My Blue Suede Shoes? I used to watch that all the time. I thought she was absolutely adorable with her squiggly little eyebrows. Sierra says, I watch solely for the outfits and that's it, right? The outfits, like she was pulling together look after look, like they did a great job styling her. And speaking of her outfits, Sierra, do you remember that one episode where like, throughout the entire season and forever, Raven is the fashionista. And then there was this one girl who would always come out from under her and just steal the crown of best dressed for the year. For some reason, your comment reminded me of that episode. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Now, I do want to turn your attention over to James Kennedy from Vanderpump Rules for a minute. I know we cannot stand him, but we have been reporting on his situation with his on and off again long-suffering girlfriend, Ali Luber, since the news broke that James was arrested and charged with misdemeanor DV. We saw, in yesterday's episode of The Morning Report, we spoke about him helping Ali move out of their shared home into an Airbnb. As of right now, they are still not officially broken up, though I do think this is strategic on Ali's part. She's trying to, get all her stuff out of Dodge before she officially lets him know that it's over, hopefully anyway. Well, now James has released a statement about the entire ordeal and where he's at, since the news leaked. So he says, and I quote, I am committed to making meaningful changes in my life. I am taking time to focus on my sobriety, personal growth, and being present for my loved ones. Navigating challenging moments is not easy, but I am determined to learn, grow, and move forward with the incredible support system around me. So in this statement, he doesn't take any sort of responsibility. He doesn't provide any details. And as much as that might frustrate people or anger people, I understand why he's doing that. At the end of the day, he is facing criminal charges, and it is in his best interest to be as vague as possible, not accept too much responsibility, because that definitely can be used against him in the court of law. Sorry. You know, when you have like all this saliva and you're like, should I swallow or should I keep spitting out the sentence? I chose to continue with the sentence, and you heard the result of that. So yeah, like, you know, he's taking responsibility slightly vaguely. And obviously this is a statement that was read by, parsed through, negotiated with his lawyers time and time again. So, I think this is the best that he can do right now. Do I think that he is actually, interested in changing or anything like that? I don't know. I gotta say, I think that at the core of who he is, he's just a very troubled person who just does not genuinely like women. And that's why he constantly finds himself being accused of DV against women. You know who he reminds me of, you guys? Do you remember Mike from the Shaws of Sunset, who was engaged to that woman, Jessica? Then he recently caught a charge for DV or something like that against his girlfriend, or then girlfriend, Paulina. They have this similar like dark energy, like, anger, constantly like bubbling beyond the surface energy. Like they both seem to literally despise women and be grappling with something inside of them and just using women as a distraction, either to themselves or to the public, to hide from like the serious issues that they have in life. Like, I just, those two are just, they're not it, in my opinion. Okay. How y'all doing in the live chat? Let me know how y'all doing. If you're enjoying the stories that we are covering today, we still do have an awful lot. And by the way, if you're in the VOD squad, feel free to let me know in the comment section how you feel about these stories. You know what I want to start doing, by the way? I want to start in my community tab asking you guys like what stories you want covered, so that I can have like, at least one viewer selected story per episode of the morning report as well. Is that something you guys would like? Feel free to let me know, because, I do want this to be as interactive as possible. Oh, we've got Kempire in the building. Hey, KP. It is so nice to see you here. Let me put a little shout out for KP. Thank you so much. Kempire has gifted 20 Grace Report memberships. That is so nice of you. Thank you so much. Always so lovely to have you here. So come on, let's get these memberships going, you guys. Go ahead and claim them. And Campfire also has a message that says, happy holidays, Grace. Thank you so much, KP. Happy holidays to you too. And I'm still sore from Pilates on a Monday, and I'm so happy about it. I was thinking about you because I do have a stretch session booked for tomorrow. So I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh my God, like finally I need to stretch after Pilates. Because, we talk a lot about this because KP, like me, loves reformer Pilates. And, we were talking about sometimes having instructors where you don't feel like they're working you hard enough. You know what I mean? And, I finally found one that works really well with me. So voila. And he's going to Pilates today as well. That's awesome. Capone says, thank you so much, Campfire, for the membership. And he's going to Pilates. We'll have a great session, KP. That is absolutely awesome. And Dusty Slayer says, that is so nice of Camp. Absolutely. I just recognized, what is her name? Shira 7 in your picture. Yeah, Campfire is the absolute best. Thank you once again, KP. That is absolutely awesome of you. Happy holidays, everyone. Guys, the Ultimatum. Okay, some new tea just dropped about Nick from the Ultimatum, and I don't even know where to begin. So that's Dave and his girlfriend Vanessa. You guys probably barely remember them because they didn't like make that long of an appearance on the show. So he had a lot to say about Nick, who came onto the show with his girlfriend Sandy. So he says, listen, the reason why Vanessa and I had to run away from this experience was partly because of production, and also partly because of Nick. He said that Nick is a psychologically dangerous person and just dangerous in other ways. And so we truly have to get into the interview that he did with People Magazine, because he really went in and let have. Okay. So I've got a question for you guys. Have you watched the reunion episode of The Ultimatum yet? Because some of this information is going to be revealed in the reunion episode. I know it just dropped today, so maybe some of you haven't had the opportunity to watch it yet. I know I haven't. I've just been running around like a chicken with his head cut off today. But he, the interview just dropped, and so I want to share some of this with you. So shout out to People Magazine, because it was an interview conducted by them, and he really shared an awful lot. Okay, so all of these quotes are coming from People Magazine. So they're saying, as he explains why he and his girlfriend and Micah and Chanel left early, that they went to a place called The Choice way later than expected and immediately got tossed into filming directly after. That was literally in the middle of the night at 2 or 3 in the morning. So we were very tired. I think a lot of us had work the next day. And at that point, it just became almost unruly for us to continue being on the show. We were going to end up dysfunctionally working. It just wasn't going to work anymore with our careers, which go way beyond the show. So I think that that's really interesting, because, sometimes when you watch these shows, you forget that these people have real live jobs. They are not, at least at this point, career reality television people. They are professional people who come in, they work remote, and they film a show at the same time, And so, when I say that, I'm thinking of the Love is Blind people, I'm thinking of the Ultimatum people. This is not like Harry Jowsey. This is not like Too Hot to Handle, where they are completely disconnected, so I can imagine how a reality television schedule can really mess with your work. And if you take your work seriously, why you would choose that over this, because it is rather fleeting at the end of the day. So Dave went on to say, I was ready to go probably a few days before The Choice and before we moved in with our new person. Vanessa was still getting a lot of productive things out of exploring and dating and learning about people. But when we moved into our new places with our new people, I heard from Vanessa that she was in a really difficult situation with Nick. And very quickly, I was brought up to speed by her about what was going on. And that was just one of the straws that broke the camel's back. So right now, we just heard about the professional side of things, right? But get ready, because he's going to talk about how Nick's behavior also contributed to their decision to leave. There were many things that we each had going on independently, why we both wanted to leave. But when I heard about that, it just became like, quote, this is actually really emotionally, mentally, and potentially physically dangerous. We really need to make a decision here. So we weighed the pros and the cons of staying and talked about everything that we had learned from the experience so far about our relationship, about others' relationships, and just decided that it was the best time for us to exit. So I really want to bring your attention to that part where he said that Nick was behaving in a way, where it was emotionally, mentally, and potentially physically dangerous. Those are very, very, very big allegations, and I do not want them to be swept under the rug. I imagine that the two of them addressed this head on with Nick at the reunion as well. I'm going to be watching the reunion tomorrow, and I definitely will be reporting back to you guys about how that went down. But yeah, that's a major thing. And I got to say, I'm not surprised, because Nick did act like very much unhinged. And I think we gave him a lot of grace, because it is true that he was stuck alone, and his girlfriend was like literally getting a kick out of taunting him with her new connection with JR as well. But still, like, there's no excuse for some of the things that he was doing, kind of like the stalking like behaviors and whatnot. And I can't even like hate on his meltdown. Like he was alone. He didn't harm anyone when he had that meltdown, but it still was like rather rough to witness and indicative of other issues. But yeah, so that is what Dave had to say about him. And then he also was asked by People Magazine, can you explain what you mean by a, quote, dangerous situation? Why were you both so concerned? Dave responds, I will say that there was a lot of untruths that Nick provided to get on the show through psych evaluations that he just wasn't truthful about. Vanessa found out a lot of information upon day one of moving in together, and that just immediately threw up more than a red flag. It was like a red flag on fire that we really needed to think about what's the best thing for our safety. So basically, this man lied about being psychologically stable or something like that, and he just wasn't, or he lied about a bunch of other things. It's not looking good. It really, really isn't, right? And then the other thing that I had heard that Vanessa and Nick was sort of baiting and switching her into moving in with him as a trial partner. They had shared this connection about both being homeschooled for years, which she was very excited about, but she later found out he was only homeschooled for 3 months. So not really the same thing. It was highly exaggerated to form a connection and then kind of capture Vanessa's emotions and be like, oh, do you want to live with me? We have all these connections. We're the same person. No, you're really not. So there's just a lot of manipulation. So basically here at this point, you can pause to read, but this is what Nick had to say in his own defense. He said, listen, I had no idea they felt this way. I was blindsided at the reunion when they confronted me about their feelings towards me and our connection and everything like that. You know, Vanessa and I really did connect. She kept on communicating with me even after leaving the show. So what is going on basically? And I got to ask you guys, are you surprised by these allegations coming out against Nick? Or do you think that this was something that you kind of imagined would be the case with him? Let me know. You know, if you're watching this live, let me know in the live chat. If you're watching on demand, if you're in my VOD squad or playback posse, let me know in the comment section. Yeah, Kristen, they said physically dangerous, mentally dangerous. Man is not psychologically stable, and you know, just a whole lot of other things. There's another video that's going viral online in which a woman goes on TikTok and she says that she had a date with Nick in the past and he had joked or said something about stalking her. Knowing that she had been a victim of stalking or something like that. And so it kind of feels like there's just something off with this guy in general. And it does make me nervous for him and for the women that he may get involved with. You know what I mean? Like I kind of feel like he could potentially be a danger, not only to himself, but to others as well. So Kristen says, I knew he was weird, but I had no idea, right? Like this is a whole other level. And it is a rather scary level. So kudos to Dave for coming out, you know, and speaking about this on his girlfriend's behalf. I do think that it's great that he, as the boyfriend, spoke out about this, because I got to be honest, I feel like people are typically harsher on women. You know, I feel like if Vanessa said something, there would be a lot of vitriol, but because like her man said something, you know, she's kind of protected in a way, and people will take it a lot more seriously than if she were the one to come out and say it herself. I don't know if you guys have noticed that as well, but there was just something kind of like, you know, sad about the way that women are treated in reality TV versus men. Now, speaking of men, let's get into this guy. Do you guys recognize this man? It kind of looks like a photo that you see on the milk carton, right? This guy is purported to be Sean P. Diddy Combs's rug mule. When Diddy started having his homes raided and everything like that, we saw that this man was arrested at Diddy's private jet airport, you know, and he was charged with carrying certain rugs purportedly for Diddy, including, you know, weed and, you know, snow. And a lot of people felt as though he was targeted in order to kind of like use as an asset in the case that they were building against Sean P. Diddy Combs. He faced actual felony charges, you guys, like felony count of rug possession. Okay, like all sorts of, you know, things. And so guess what? Their charges, they were getting downgraded until now. We're just finding out that the charges against him were dropped. So obviously, many people, myself included, are of the belief that these charges got dropped because perhaps this man, and did I tell you his name, by the way? His name is Brendan Paul. I personally believe that these charges were dropped because he is singing like a canary. His lawyers are coming out and saying that no, like the prosecutors did not cut a deal with him, like in the Diddy case. But I just feel like this is being said to protect his safety, because I do believe that his safety could potentially be at risk if Diddy or his associates were to find out that this man was a snitch. And so, because he just doesn't have the kind of money that, like, another snitch like Tekashi 6ix9ine has, they need to put that out there, and I'm not trying to potentially compromise his safety or anything like that. I'm just saying that I personally am of the belief that he gave some pretty good information about Diddy that was needed to help out with this case. Do I think it's damning information that's going to like seal the deal and lock the door behind Diddy or anything like that? No, absolutely not. But I do think that there's something to the idea, and I wonder if you guys feel that way. Corey says, good morning to you too, Corey. Dwayne says it was pink snow. Thank you so much. Pink snow. I have to look up what that is. Listen, I'm out to date. I'm out of date on the rugs, y'all. Hamlet Princess says, and by the way, I want to go back really quickly before I get into Hamlet Princess. I do have something to tell you, by the way, Hamlet Princess. Dwayne, isn't pink snow the thing that Diddy's allegedly like super addicted to? And Hamlet Princess, I see you just found out who our wonderful gifter was. It was none other than Kempire, who gifted 20 Grace Report memberships. So if you would like a membership, go ahead and claim it. It has already been paid for by Kempire. So once again, big thank you to you, Kempire, for sponsoring the channel memberships of this episode. So there you go. Can I ask you guys, this is a mic check. Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let me know in the chat if you are watching this video live. But if you are part of the VOD squad, playback posse, let me know in the comment section. Do you think that Brendan, aka Diddy's alleged rug mule, cut a deal, sang like a canary, and got off scot-free? Or do you think this is par for the case? Because here's the thing, these were felony charges. So to me, it sounds wild that they would go through all that trouble. And this man has allegedly been known as Diddy's rug mule since years. And only now, after they raid Diddy's homes, do they go after him and arrest him? Or maybe it was an intimidation thing, because I believe they arrested him right in front of Diddy. They were at the airport together. I don't know. Let me know. So I'm seeing some of the comments. Kristen says, absolutely. Caroline says, I agree. He spoke up. Listen, I'm happy that we're all on the same page here. Something happened. The people are claiming that that's not the case. But again, I think that they're just saying that to protect him. Because at the end of the day, if it walks like a duck and if it quacks like a duck, it most likely ain't a pig. It's probably a duck. Hamlet Princess says, pink snow is a mixture of whatever is left on the floor of the kitchen. What does that mean? So like when you cut up everything else, and by cut up everything else, I mean you cut up the white snow? Guys, I need to be filled in on this, y'all. I need to be filled in. Now, as I wait for the answer to that, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Did you guys watch last night's episode? Because, oh my goodness, I've got to say that Woes was an incredible addition to the show. I feel like she fits like a glove. She feels like she was a missing piece this entire time. And, so far, I like that she hasn't been thirsty or overly inserting herself into anything. You see her connection with Dorit, and it seems organic, and it seems chill and not try hard. You see her connection with Garcelle, and it just feels like an unspoken kind of like Black girl bond that I love between the two of them. And I'm really enjoying her. I gotta say, I think she's super fashionable. I've been loving everything she's worn. I especially loved the outfit that she wore to the Kyle's Denim and Diamonds party. That outfit, she looked like a Barbie. It's exactly like Kyle said. She looked like a freaking Barbie doll. She's beautiful, she's smart. And I love the thing that she shared, the kind of story that she shared about her daughter and the trip that she pitched to Brazil. So basically every year for her daughter's birthday, the daughter has a choice of where to go for vacation. And so she has to present her case to Bose. And it's like, listen, she is preparing her for like uni, for like, the corporate world. Like you do presentations. You do have to be, comfortable arguing, your point and this and that. And so I thought it was a really, really wonderful way to kind of like shape really great characteristics and mold great characteristics in her daughter, while also and, having fun with her. So I'm a big fan of Bose, and I really hope that she continues on this way. Like, I always get kind of scared when we like someone and we voice that we like them, because sometimes these comments get to their head. Okay. So I'll give you an example. Mia has always been divisive on RHOP. Like, she's never been 100% liked. But I do feel like, for example, when Carlos King told her that, like, he really enjoyed her on the show, like, she is Mia B. Lion, but she's entertaining and the show would do well to kind of build around her. That went to her head and she turned into a monster. But I really hope that with Bose, that is not the case. So Bose, please stay the way that you are right now. Please, please, please. Hamlet is confirming that, okay, it really truly is whatever is left when you chop everything out. Oh, Lord, y'all, what is this? It's never the same, so you don't know what's in it. That sounds scary. Why are people into this stuff? That sounds absolutely scary. This sounds like, what is the thing that, like, you get a little grain of it and you're gone sometimes? Fentanyl? It kind of sounds like a recipe for disaster, to be honest with you. So good luck to the people partaking in this. And a big thank you to Hamlet's princess and to Dwayne for keeping me up to date on this, y'all. Woo! Now, I'm kind of curious. Do you guys like Bose a lot? Do you think she's a good fit for RHOBH? And speaking of good fit and doing well on the show, we've got to talk about Dorit. Miss Dorit has just been going through it, and I kind of feel like, listen, she's having a great season, but at the same time, I do feel like she's taking a lot of her frustration. It is kind of like Sutton said, it sounded harsh, but I do believe that Dorit is taking out her frustrations with her own life on the other girls sometimes. Like when she was screeching on the bus, I was like, oh, girl, I imagine that's how you screech to your husband, but these are just your gal pals. Like, this is a bit much, I gotta say. Did you guys feel that way too? And it's not to take away from her performance because she was on it. The back and forth she had with Camille, like, legendary. Camille was giving like fan and stalker, and Dorit just, had her like up against the ropes, and she just would not let up. And I really enjoyed seeing that. And I think that it's great that Dorit is no longer trying to paint a certain image. She's letting people know, like, listen, at this point, don't mess with me. I've got a lot going on, and you will get your head bit off. It's not 100% about you, but you're going to feel this rap. And listen, go for it, girl. It is what it is, and it makes for great TV. I'm still shocked that she called Camille a stupid effing see you next Tuesday. Oh, God, that was a bit much. But listen, again, she did it for the plot. Now, can we talk about Megan Thee Stallion? I don't know if I ever told you this, and I'm going to pull up her Spotify right here. But Megan Thee Stallion, I like some of the singles that she puts out there. I would consider myself kind of a hottie. Like, I really like the song she did with Beyonce, Savage remix. I really like WAP. And I really like Mamushi, like this type of stuff. So when her self-titled album came out earlier this year, I thought, and I like the one that drove Nicki Minaj crazy. What is that song? Hiss? I played that a million times over. Really, really love it. And I support her against Tory Lanez, okay? So when her self-titled album, Megan, came out, I was surprised to not really care for it. Like, I didn't like the album. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm kind of like a casual, like, bandwagon fan and not like a real true fan. I'll accept it, but whatever. And then somehow I wound up listening to her album, Traumazine. Guys, if you really want to support Megan Thee Stallion and you do not like the self-titled album, or maybe you do, and you really want to continue getting into her, try out her album, Traumazine. That album to me was absolutely amazing. No skips. I really like her song, Her, and just like everything. I really, really, really true. I love Anxiety. I love it all. It's a really, really good album. So anyway, that is not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about her never-ending battle against Tory Lanez, Daystar something. So apparently Tory Lanez is still trying to torment her from behind bars. According to Megan Thee Stallion, Tory is still paying bloggers to speak negatively about her in the press, to make her look bad, to make her look like a liar, and all sorts of things, and she's sick of it. She has filed for a restraining order against him. And just so you know, the blogger in question is named Elizabeth Milagro Cooper, and I guess she goes by Milagro or something like that on the internet. Megan is already suing that blogger, and she has proof, according to TMZ sources, that Tory is in fact paying this blogger to speak poorly about her on the internet. So according to this source, Tory is not paying her directly. However, his father is the one funneling money into her pockets. And so they've got receipts allegedly of the Zelle transactions between Tory Lanez's father and this blogger, and they amount to about $3,000 over the period of a couple months. And so she's using this in her lawsuit against Tory to get him to back up off her, and in her lawsuit against Milagro to say, listen, you are paid to harass me. And I gotta say, I'm really proud of Megan for not backing down. A lot of coward men in the industry have been mocking her, trying to incite hatred against her for simply being a victim to Tory Lanez and his gun. And, instead of cowering away, running away or anything like that, which anyone would do, I probably would. I'm trying to be honest here. She is saying, listen, you were not going to mess with me. I'm fighting back. I know the truth and I'm putting the truth out there. And I am 1000% in her corner. I really do love Meg Thee Stallion. I think she seems to be a wonderful person who doesn't bother anybody. And I hate that this situation happened to her. I don't think she deserves it. I don't think anyone deserves what Daystar put her through. Now, I do see a comment coming back about Bose. So let me go back and put this photo up of Bose and pull it up. The comment is from Dwayne. I like Bose, but I feel like she hasn't done her research. Otherwise, she would know all the women are snakes, and her best bet would be to not shield people from the consequences of their actions. Dwayne, it sounds like you think that she shouldn't trust Dorit too much. Am I reading that correctly? Because right now it seems like she's a very strong ally of Dorit's. And you know what that reminds me? Your comment. It reminds me of another strong ally that Dorit had, who was none other than Lisa Vanderpump. Lisa loved Dorit. Lisa protected Dorit. And then out of nowhere, Dorit throws her under the bus for Kyle Richards. And is that what you're alluding to? That Bose could potentially suffer the same fate? Now, Dwayne says, it looks like Daystar is the one crumbling along with his daddy. Couldn't ask for more. Absolutely. Daystar, you will crumble. Just like your toupee in jail. I wonder how he's keeping that up in jail. It's glue, wig glue in the commissary, got to be glue in the commissary for him. I can't believe he's Canadian. Oh, the shame I feel. Olivia says, love Meg Thee Stallion. Me too. Megan Thee Stallion, good luck to you moving forward, girl. I think she deserves nothing but the best. And again, I really do love her album. I forgot the name of it. Oh, Traumazine. Such a good album. I gotta say, the ladies of hip hop have been bringing it lately. I loved Glorilla's album as well. I thought she did an incredible job. I was listening to Doechie's album. And like I said, I really like this old Megan Thee Stallion album as well. Really loving this new era and this new genre of women in hip hop. Of course, I still do really enjoy Nicki Minaj's music, but honestly, like I'm someone who has a hard time separating the artist from the art. Like I still know all the words, I still rap to it, but it's not stuff that I seek out anymore just because of the way that she helped her brother, as he was facing, very, very heinous charges and, accusations. And he was eventually convicted and she still supports him. That disturbed me. The husband, that sort of stuff. And I'm disappointed because she was the one who got me into like women in rap, outside of Missy Elliott. I'll see Missy Elliott was my first. But yeah, I'm disappointed. I still do like her music though. And again, it's kind of like Chris Brown's music. Like I used to be a Chris Brown stan. I would fight you over Chris Brown, but just with everything that like I've learned about him, I stopped being able to enjoy it. Zoe says, same. Absolutely. Oh gosh, you guys are really like my people. I love how much we have in common. It is absolutely amazing. Now, I've got to say thank you all so much for joining. I know that Kempire gifted 20 Grace Report memberships. So if you haven't already, do make sure to go ahead and claim your free membership. There's only a couple left. Again, thank you so much for joining me for the morning report. It is always a complete and absolute pleasure to be able to speak with you guys live about trending topics. I'm going to start putting out like a poll in my community tab. So make sure to keep an eye out for it, where I ask you guys what you want to talk about in the day's morning chat. Okay. So that way, like at least one story per episode is going to be something that you guys specifically request. Just as I suspected, it was going to be a long episode, though I will say we got through it a little bit quicker than I had imagined. So very, very cool. Very nice to be able to wrap it all up and talk about the day's hottest stories with you. I absolutely agree. Thank you once again to Campfire for sponsoring today's episode and all of the super chats for you guys. Take good care of yourselves. Again, don't forget to go ahead and claim your free channel membership on your way out, and have a great day. If you're watching the replay, you're part of the VOD squad, the Playback Posse. I am looking forward to reading you guys' comments as well. It's always so lovely to see that you guys still enjoy, the long format and stuff, even if you're not able to catch us live. Take good care of yourselves, everybody. Happy holidays, and thank you once again to Campfire for sponsoring the episode. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.